Hey everybody, welcome back today with a new episode. Now this is episode 51. If you haven't checked out episode 50, I highly suggest it. Link is in the description, so go check that one out. Today I'm going to show you how I edited that episode. So recently I switched over to Hitfilm for editing all of my Film Empire episodes. Now to be honest, this has sped up my workflow a lot, so today I'm going to show you how I edit my episodes in Hitfilm. So here we are. I start off with the footage and the audio imported onto my desktop over here. The footage is shot with the exact same camera that you are watching me now, and the audio, when I'm not in this setup, the audio is recorded with the Zoom H1. Otherwise, when I'm sitting here, it's with a desktop microphone, which is right below the camera. So to start off with editing, I go to my second hard drive, which is a 2 terabyte hard drive. I save all of my video files on there, so I have Hitfilm proxies. This is for my screen recorder. This is the short film I'm working on, as you can see here, and this is the just the videos library. Now all of these libraries are linked to the first disk, but the video library is actually linked to the second disk. So I can go to Film Empire Standard, and here it says FE format, which is Film Empire format. Now what I'll do is I'll click on Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and I have a copy on my desktop. What I'll always do is rename this to the episode that I'm working on and then open it. Okay, so here we are. Now this is the basic of all of my videos. What I'll do first is import the footage and audio. So I'll import that over here. These are 5 composite shots which I can use in my video editing stuff. As you can see here, this is the intro, and when I open it, you can see that it's fully customizable. I could change the title here. I can change this title. I could even swap out the photo if that's needed. Then of course I have the name overlay. I again can change the name and the title for another person if that's needed. I have a note overlay which pops up, as you can see here. Sometimes I need to display an extra note, which I didn't do in the video itself, and then I can just use it here. I can take the text tool and change it to something else if I'd like to. For now I will change it back. And then I have a cut overlay, which basically is a few frames of this plane fading in, and then later it fades out again. Sometimes I need to hide a jump cut, and I'll do that with the cut overlay. And then I have the end card, which basically is just the end piece of my video. So yeah, that's that. What I'll always do first is start with syncing up the audio and video. As you can see, this is the footage audio, which was recorded with the Zoom H1, and this is the footage itself with the scratch audio coming from the camera. Now the audio of this camera, it's not the best audio, but it's definitely good enough to sync up audio with it. So sometimes I have to sync up video of OBS and the camera. That's a little trickier as I'm working with more layers, but for now this is quite an easy sync. As you can see here, I counted down and then I clapped, so I can just sync up the waveforms over here a little more. Can I get it to work? Yeah, there we go. That's perfect. So now we have the audio and video synced. What I'll do then, here, I always hold up a piece of paper in the beginning of a clip so that I can color grade it. So I'll do the grading first, so go to, or the color correction, I have to say. So I can add the white balance effect, then select the piece of paper over here, and this corrects it. Now sometimes the camera gets a very green or orange tinge. As you can see here, it's ever so slightly, it removes some of the red tones. So that's this. Now that we have the white balance set correctly, I can go to the beginning of my video and I'll click Ctrl-Shift-D, which splits up these selected clips, and I can delete the first part. And what I'll do now is unlink the footage and the scratch audio. Then I can delete the scratch audio, as you can see here, and we have something that's synced up correctly. Now for some reason, yeah, there we go, my audio wasn't playing, but there we go. That works very well. Now this footage looks already quite good, but still I'll add the brightness and contrast effect, and then I'll pull up the contrast a bit, then crush blacks and whites to crush those blacks a bit more. As you can see, this is a quite flat video, and this helps pop the colors a bit more. I just noticed that the framing wasn't correct. So what I'll do for that is I'll hold shift, and then I can resize the footage and drag it to the center. Yeah, that looks nice. And what I have to do then is add the film overlay, which is just a basic letterbox. I have a PNG file of this letterbox, and I'll drag it over here. And we're basically done for the first part. Now what I can do now is add the name overlay file, and yeah, that looks really good. So now I'll scroll to the part where the intro has to start. Now over here, I misspoke, so yeah, there you go. So what I'll do here is halfway, split these clips, go to the beginning of this, split those clips, and then I can just delete and move this. So this is where the intro has to start. Now I'll add the intro on top. So this is the intro, as you can see, and I can open this composite shot, go to the title, and this was about, I think it's, yeah, it's storytelling tips. I can add this. Are those two spaces? No, they're not. They look like two spaces. Yeah, there we go. So this is just a text layer that I can adjust, and all of the effects are still the same, and that's why I love working in Hitfilm for this. It's so easy to have these composite shots. I can just edit them, add them onto my clip, and this creates a very solid intro, but I can still customize it for every video, which is great. It's this. Now, I'm talking about 10 tips in this video, so I actually have to make a sort of counter, which I can adjust, so I'll do that real quick now. Okay, so I made a real quick sort of counter animation, so that's this number here. So this is counter 1, and I'll just have to duplicate and edit those to form the numbers 1 through 10. Okay, so I made 10 counter animations in under like 5 minutes or something, so I think that's absolutely great. So here I have the 10 counter animations, and I think that I can start to cut, because I have some breaks in between to read my notes, because I always have a sheet of notes hanging right below the camera, which I can read without looking to the paper too much, but sometimes I need to take a break and start reading those. So I'll cut everything together and add the counter animations. Okay, so now I'm at the end of the video. I cut everything together. You can see here there were quite some cuts, and here you can see all of the sort of number overlays, and this is the very end of the video. You can see this is the sort of smile that I always do at the end of the video. And what I can do now is just add the end card over here and go over here, and then I can just take the footage and audio and remove that. Yeah, there we go. So that's very nice. As you can see, this part over here, this was all of the footage that was not used. So that looks like there was 2.5 minutes of footage that was not used, and that's most of the times because sometimes I have to pause, I misspeak. So yeah, that can happen. So my camera stopped recording without even notifying me, and I just saw that my camera's out of focus the whole time, so I'm extremely sorry for that. But I was talking about the piece of letterbox that was left at the end. Now most of the times I cut away quite some footage because I misspoke or I had to look something up, and then it's just me staring at a camera or at a screen, so that's not what you want. And when I'm done with clipping all of that off, it's time for music. Now I have 4 tracks. If you want to find the artist of those tracks, you can click in the link in the description. There's always links to the music that I use. That's for every video that I make. If you want to find out the music that I use, just go in the description. So I'll add that onto my track. Now most of the times I have to adjust the music so that it's not playing over my voice. Most of the times I have to pull it down 30 decibels so that it's just a nice track in the background. So I hope that you like this video. Sorry for all of the inconvenience of the camera stopping and me being out of focus. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Now like and subscribe if you haven't already, and while you're here, take the time to check out these 2 videos. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time with a new video. Bye!